I want to tell a quick story of last night. After we saw this movie,
Yeah.
I was talking to some people, and or no, was it? It was sometime yesterday. I don't remember when it was, but I came up with these people, the people I had talked to before, and they were talking to this other gentleman, and they were like, "Oh, this guy is a director producer. He also writes for Asia, something, 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 something." So I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And he's like, "You're a YouTuber, right?" Like, well, the first thing he says, I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, that's interesting. That's something I can't crack. I don't understand it. You used to need like credentials to like review movies, but now like anybody can do it." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Just go fuck yourself." Like, what the fuck? Get fucked, bro. Like, how are you? Like, what the hell?
That is very rude.
I was like,
Hi, you're a YouTuber, right? You do reviews? Yeah. Yeah, it used to be you needed credentials to do that.
you know, credentials that were made up.
Yeah, nobody needs credentials to
Eat
review
shit,
them.
you Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Reaction. I'm Corbin.
I'm Rick.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter for more juicy content. Thank you for resource on Patreon. Follow us on the like button. If you don't like something, just say like, "Oh, cool. That's awesome."
Yeah.
Don't fuck like. Oh my god. I wanted to slap him so hard. Anyways, hi. We are in a new space right now. This is our new
This is
studio.
the new lair.
The new lair.
Don't you love it?
No,
We're joking.
We had to
We're at IFFLA.
film it here because we're doing some podcasts here at IFFLA, and we also reviewed some movies here at IFFLA. So we're gonna take this opportunity to review some new movies that just came out. This one is the new 2025 film that's doing the festival circuit right now, The Fable.
I've got the IMDb page up here
with
on it.
our dose to Manoj Bajpayee
Our Dosti of Dosts.
and another dose,
Tilotama. She's in there.
She's in there as well, but it's directed by
Written and directed by Raam Reddy.
who we saw in his review of Titty.
That's, if you've been around, you know that's what it is.
It's called-
We say that affectionately.
It's called Titty.
We love that movie, as did the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same
Titi.
director as that.
Yeah, and same creator.
Same creator.
And rounding out the cast with Tilotama and with Manoj, we have quite a few people, but we've got, for the family, Priyanka Bose is Nandini, Deepak Dobrial is Mohan, and a lot of the other cast isn't listed here on IMDb Pro, which is sad, but that's okay. You're gonna give credit where credit is due.
Yes. So this is going to be almost 100% non-spoiler. I mean, non-spoiler review.
Non-spoiler at the front.
Because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
And so I don't want people to just get spoiled because I don't know when it's coming out. Like that one Manoj we saw last time
I know.
at IFFLA. I don't know if it's ever came out.
Or
Did
like
Berlin ever come out?
that Berlin as well was another one.
So I don't know if this will ever come out.
This one almost assuredly is going to, I would think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it'll be mostly non-spoiler. But then if we will get into spoilers, we will tell you before that, okay? But the spoiler, though, this is very different than titties.
That is a spoiler. This is different.
This is different than...
It's different.
I think most Indian films you've probably ever seen. Anyway, so Rick, your initial thoughts of Fable.
With the Fable.
The Fable titties.
Don't have the medals with me. And it's been a long time since I've said this. I don't have it, but I would have written a paragraph.
Nice.
And a lot of it for me is also the timing of seeing the movie and some subjectivity. There's times when you see a film and you see it at a certain time of your life, it has a deeper meaning and a deeper impact, and that's just for you and your particularity. Setting that aside, I have a lot to only say superlative about what I think is an absolutely, it's a platinum with a blue diamond for me. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's not only one of the best Indian films I've ever seen. It's one of the best films I've ever seen. I think it's like if Guillermo del Toro had made this, it would be all over the Oscars. And it felt very much like something that came from his heart. It's a similar type of film. I have nothing but superlatives, and I think it's a magical creation.
Yeah. Same. I adore this. This is probably my favorite movie. I think I saw 4 films at IFFLA this year. and this is probably my favorite. And
Yeah, you saw one other one right now tonight. I've seen three.
Yeah, you've seen
of,
three.
3 of the 4.
I saw
and
4.
that's saying a lot because we liked all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But
They're
yeah,
all they're all very good.
This is something else.
Yeah, and from the jump, no spoilers, but from the jump, it's like it lets you know this is different.
Yep,
Like,
right at the get-go.
You'll see it right off the bat. Well,
Right at the get-go.
Not only from stuff that happens, but also the filmmaking wise.
Right.
It's very different. I believe. Did you confirm?
Oh, I confirmed it.
It's shot on
The whole thing is shot
16 millimeter.
It's shot 16 millimeter. You can tell when it starts. And at one point, Corbin leaned over to me and he said, "Are they shooting this on 35?" I said, "I'm pretty sure it's 16 millimeter." Which, I understand why he chose that.
It gives everything this magical kind of like a different, almost different worldly.
Yeah, otherworldly, other time,
Yeah.
but still, there's other signifiers that let you know it's happening right now.
Yeah.
But it adds to the fact that it's Fable, and in the same way, it's very, very different. But if you've seen Birdman and that other film we saw, that's kind of like Birdman, that
Which one?
South film. But the thing about Birdman is it is very much. There's a lot of symbolism in it.
Yeah.
A lot of artistry and a lot of things that just are in the mind of a person. This is very different in that it's not just in the mind of a person. It's very Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, very.
It's if you've seen Pan's Labyrinth.
Not in like a monstrous way. 'Cause
No.
he does love
It's
monsters.
not in a monster's way. Just the way the story is thought through and presented. It's as elevative as cinema can get.
Yeah, it's one of the most. I told my wife about it. I was like, one, you would really like it. This is a very her style film.
I can't wait to watch it again.
But it's one of the most unique and interesting Indian films I've ever seen. One of the most unique in films I've ever seen. But specifically, I don't know what language it was. Was it? I'm assuming it was Hindi, right? Was
Yeah.
Dipti Hindi?
I don't remember.
Anyways, obviously it's Manoj and Total Thomas, so I assume it's Hindi. But it's one of the most unique, concept-wise, films
So original.
that I've ever seen. And I love a film that takes a risk. I
Yep.
do. I love it. It obviously doesn't always work, but
This
when
sure
it
does.
does, it's like, that was so fresh. That was so interesting.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's not
deep.
like it's not an action. It's not anything like that. It's a strict drama. And so you're in it for the dramatic aspect to it. So it's not like a fast-paced film or anything.
Right, and you also need to really pay attention because there's moments that pass by. It's a very slow-moving film. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't feel slow, but it is a slow-moving film.
Yeah.
Don't allow yourself to be distracted, or just start daydreaming because the smallest things in this have profound and deep messages to convey.
Yeah.
You can literally miss an eye blink if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, it's the film's called The Fable, so you can make your assumptions about. They'll probably be wrong, but you can make your assumptions about what the film is in essence. I mean, like I said, you're not going to guess it. I don't think just by the name, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
never in a million years would you guess it by the name.
But also, this is one of the films that also I love. Obviously, filmmakers that take risks, but I also love films that, at the end of it, audiences want to talk about, and I feel like this is definitely.
Oh, 100%.
And for all different aspects. Like,
Agreed.
What does it mean?
Agreed.
Like what, obviously, the filmmaking aspects.
You could talk
alone?
about any one of those things for an hour at a time. It is one of those films that stays with you for days. When we left and we drove, because from where we are to getting back, it was about a 45-minute drive. We talked about nothing but the film, and half of our drive, we were in silence, just thinking and daydreaming about the film. And that was the whole drive home.
Yeah. And it's one, I don't know if it's a style of film, because another film I saw, I said, I think this could be, it's the one that Rick didn't see. I was like, I could see this being India's submission for the Oscars. It's Cactus Pear. Just won the subject matter. It's also just very, very well done.
Yeah.
This is a film that I think artistically could absolutely be done, like is sent, I don't know if the right people will understand it to send it. I don't know if the Oscars will watch it.
Well, it for sure.
Because the other one's the right subject matter.
It for sure is like. Do we know? I want to ask Manoj. Do you know? Is it going to have a showing at Cannes? Because Cannes is happening.
I would hope so.
Hope it's happening because it ought to, and it's one of those films that you would hope everybody at the Academy would watch, and if they're watching it and really just allowing the film to be its film, I really can't imagine another film exceeding it. It absolutely ought to be in consideration for submission, and because it's just an absolutely astonishing movie.
Yes, it is, and it's like I said, one of the coolest things about it is just the one that is shot on 16 millimeter. The beauties that does this film is unspeakable.
Yeah,
like it's such a brilliant choice to have it be shot on 16
it
millimeter.
Really is.
I bet it was a challenge.
Yeah,
but it was such a brilliant choice to shoot this film.
And what's wonderful is there's no disconnect, and I bet this was a challenge from the get-go in creation of shooting it on 16 millimeter, but having such good theatrical sound design.
Yeah,
because the sound design is exceptional. Everything in it is everybody's believable.
The writing is really like the way they unravel this story. Obviously from the beginning you're going to be like, what the heck is going on? Sorry if it looks like the camera just got really dark
because you reached into lens. Yeah,
sorry if that got really dark. From the get-go it's like, what is going on? And it does a good job of unraveling and keeping you guessing and keeping you engaged of like, I just want to know what's happening here. The writing does a really good job at weaving that throughout the film to not spoon feed you, and keep you guessing throughout the film to keep you really engaged in a slow moving film.
Yeah,
this is not an action movie.
No, it's not, and it's. I understand why. For example, I think when we were looking at the schedule and deciding things we were going to watch, didn't Manoj tell you don't miss it?
Yes, he did.
And I understand why he did. I don't know if you messaged him. I messaged him last night.
Did he reply?
He did.
Nice.
Yeah. And I actually, Raam, I think he maybe shared the message with Raam.
It's probably Raam.
Is it Raam or Raam?
Well,
I'm thinking it's
Raam. If it's R-A-M, it'd be Raam, like the god.
We'll clarify, and forgive me for not knowing the difference, but I got a follow last night, so I messaged him too. My suspicion, my suspicion is Manoj shared with him. My suspicion is Manoj shared the message, and what I basically just said to them was, I'll share everything I want to share in the review, but that I just found their film to be one of the best I've ever seen, period, not just this year. And it is a miraculous creation. It is the kind of creation where to give it a parallel with another kind of artistic expression would be in the world of fine cuisine, when you're having to put together something that is extraordinarily delicate and takes time. For example, you would understand how much time it takes to make an exceptional biryani of whatever kind, and how many things can go wrong. Everything goes right for this movie in literally every way. There's not a flaw. It's a spectacular film.
It is. It's so good and so unique, and I can't wait for everybody to watch it. I'm sure, people that just aren't interested in this style of cinema might say that it was like boring. I didn't find that at all. Obviously, people have different tastes in cinema. Obviously, of course. So if you're not into slow burns, literally, and like just unique storytelling that doesn't spoon feed you, I could see that you might be bored. But if you just love cinema, you're gonna love it.
And if for those of you who've been around a long time, what I'm about to say, you'll have a context in which to understand the comparison. So people have asked us consistently, and the names that are always thrown around for me and Korbin as well, of our what we consider are the best Indian films of all time. Gangs of Wasseypur's thrown up in there, Header, The Lunchbox. This is immediately in that conversation for me, and I'm going to watch it a second time. I'm leaning, this might become my favorite Indian film of all time.
Wow, geez.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love it that much.
I'd have to really think about that. That's a
I
bold
love
statement.
it that. I love it that much.
It would definitely, I think, might be one of the most unique Indian films I've ever seen for sure, easily. I think I said that right at the end. I was like, this is different. I've just not seen an Indian film
original.
that was like this in a way. So, anyways, superlative all throughout. Cinematographers, I don't have their names, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it didn't list everybody.
The score.
Here, let me see if I can find anybody
really
else, maybe
nice,
in the crew.
In furthering the story along as well.
Oh, it says that that's the.
I thought the daughter, Manoj's
wrong
daughter, in this also did a very good job.
Oh yes,
yeah, she did
absolutely.
a very good. I thought some of he has workers. The main guy, I really
absolutely,
liked his performance.
and the sheriff.
I think he was Tillotama's wife, right?
Yes,
husband. I mean,
husband. And
I liked him a lot.
Yeah, let me see. We got producers. I'm going to see if IMDb is showing anybody else. Oh, a lesser known guy did the music named Raam Reddy.
Oh, is that him? Okay.
Yeah, he did the music. Cinematography, our DOP was Sunil Borkar, and it was edited by Siddharth Kapoor and Raam Reddy.
Okay.
Casting was by Tess Joseph.
Nice job in casting.
And everybody else, there's a long list, thankfully, if you can see it on IMDb and IMDb Pro, of the creatives that were involved in making this thing come to pass.
Anyways, so if you've seen it, let us know what you thought about it. We are going to get into some spoilers, so please go away if you have not seen the film.
Please don't watch this if you haven't seen the film.
I know most of you haven't seen it, so just go away now.
Yeah, and then go see the film. Once you mark it right here, once you see the film and come back.
Yeah. So, spoilers.
Spoilers.
What do you want to talk about?
It's one of those movies that I think, like for Indrani and I, it not only hit at a particular time, but the messaging for me was so clear at the end. I don't know that was his intention, and that's one of the great things about the movie.
What did you take away at the end?
Well, and that's the thing, is I think anybody can take away what they want to take away from it, but the thing I took away, and if this was his intention, then he knocked it out of the park. The bottom line for me is the messaging of trying to put it together in a single sentence. Being who you're really supposed to be and listening to your guardian angels or your fairies or your inner voice or the frequencies, whatever that may be, to recognizing that there is a season where you do have to do some things that are obligatory and that are responsible, but that the inner stirrings of your heart that are the deeper, real purpose of who you are, there comes a time where you need to listen to the signals of the universe telling you that season is now over, and you have to really open up to the reality of what you ought to be about, and that there will be signals that are sent to you that don't always necessarily reveal themselves as the most obvious of signals, because they don't come in a positive face, but they have a positive message. And it wasn't that just that way for him, it was that way for his wife.
Yeah.
And there was something about that Fable Tillotama was talking about that you can even go deeper. Again, we could talk about it for hours. That for me is the large takeaway with a lot of subpoints.
I think there's a lot of takeaways you could take from this, and there's so many things that I would need to watch this film again a couple times.
I cannot wait to watch it again,
because there's elements of it, like the daughter and
the guy
and did something to her mind at the beginning.
Yeah,
obviously what exactly?
I have a theory about that.
What was on?
Yeah, I think it has a theory about. So, I think Manoj and his wife, they weren't being fully who they're supposed to be, and they weren't fully where they're supposed to be. He was taking over the orchard because he had inherited it from his dad, and he felt an obligation to be taking care of it, right?
Yeah, they were trying to be humans.
I think the daughter and the son, but especially the daughter, I thought the daughter was being who she's supposed to be, and she was where she's supposed to be, as were the nomadic people. And there was something about that where she was on the same frequency with that guy.
Interesting, yeah.
And the minute he did this and she could hear him, then it was, he recognized, because this is their place, this is their land. They understand that the people that are there are not supposed to be there. They know that they're eventually going to get away because they're not going to resonate with the frequency of the people, and they're patient.
Yeah.
But she resonates with it because she's who she's supposed to be and where she's supposed to be. And I think that they together were harmonizing their frequencies in order to help the guardian angels, the little fairies, the little dragonflies, to speak to her mom and dad, so that they would eventually be who they're fully supposed to be and go to where they're supposed to be, which was so emblematic for me. I got really emotional with that final shot because the final shot isn't just one person flying.
Yeah.
And I saw that as his family, and I hope like no sequel. Let's just.
And Johnny was like, "Is there going to be?"
I convinced her afterwards. I talked to her afterwards.
So.
I don't need a sequel. I don't want a sequel.
The end, I think, has so many different things that you could come away with. Like obviously, there's the easy metaphor of don't fly too close to the sun. You might get.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking Icarus right at the very beginning.
That's the easy one.
That's the easy one
that you could just come away with. That at the end. I like your theory.
The very last image.
And it could also have something to do with, obviously, I think there was definitely an element of nature and being at one with nature and obviously not harming the earth. And
that's a definite message.
There's a definite
undercurrent about letting things be. Well, again, that goes literally flies. I was going to say into the messaging of be who you're supposed to be and be where you're supposed to be. And if we all did that, we wouldn't harm each other or the planet. That's a definite message.
Yeah, easily.
That last moment. There's a huge significance of, so Manoj's character has this longing to be flying. And when he finally realizes what they've been communicating to him, because they start with one small bush and they're like, okay, he's going to get the message
Raam
with the one small bush.
Sorry.
And he doesn't get the message. And then like, okay, we'll burn several bushes. And he doesn't get that message. Okay, we'll burn large acreage. He doesn't get that message. Well, maybe if we come up close and burn individual things, he's going to understand this is not a natural phenomenon. It's a supernatural phenomenon.
Yeah.
He doesn't fully get it until they manifest themselves in front of him and he's surrounded by them. Like, do you get it now? Not only leaving those wings behind, because he now knows the reason I felt like flying was because I was in a place where I was only supposed to be for a season. And that's not really the full expression of my flying. Where we're going now is going to be the full expression of my flying. And I won't need these wings. They don't serve me anymore because that season of my life is over, which I love that moment of the little dragonfly, the firefly landing on it and starting the burn because he doesn't need that anymore. Yeah. It's spectacular.
It's one of, like I said, it's one of those films that I feel like if you have a group of people, a bunch of people could have
many takeaways.
10 people. You could have 10 different takeaways of the film.
And you could have takeaways based on your age. There's people who will relate with the daughter. There's people who will relate with the wife. That was another thing for her. I felt like for her, the thing that made her really fly was singing. And even when her daughter says, sing something for us. And then the guy that came to help them at the table, he says, why don't you sing for us? We're just those little guardian angels going, we know this is what makes you fly. You need to fly. So
do you catch that moment when the daughter was unbuttoning her thing?
Yeah.
And it felt like she was almost about to like touch herself.
Almost take her clothes off and touch herself.
And then it was like nothing.
And then it was nothing.
I was wondering like, I was like, we didn't retouch that moment.
It's a definite moment.
Yeah. And I was
it's meant to be something.
Is it just that she's a teenager? Obviously she has sexual desire maybe. I don't know.
It could just be a tip of the hat of be who you're supposed to be and know that where you're supposed to be is okay and where she was and who she was. If she was going to do that, there's nothing wrong with it. It would also challenge people who might not like that and think, what was it? Yeah. I think there's people who will walk away from this and not get a thing from it, which is astonishing to me, but that's what happens.
I don't know what's going on with the camera. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, it just got dark. Anyway.
It's getting dark. Anyways, so if you've seen it, let us know.
There we go. Maybe we can bounce the light.
Weird.
There we go.
I need to fix
that
better before the podcast.
Anyway, if you're here, I hope it's only the makers of the film.
Yeah.
At this point. And if it's now in the future and you've seen it, hey, what do you think?
Hi, Manoj. Hi, all the creators. Hi, director. Because we'll probably send this to you. Great job making a movie. Please continue to make them and make more.
Yes.
And if you need white people, let us know what you thought about the movie down below.